play for the legacy. We play for the prestige. We play for the glory. We play for one goal.
Whoa, he got out! He'll go down, and the camera is in the form of his life. He was a shot! Cheated!
Blaze just came off this massive victory at the IEM Worlds. Who was there? Frost, LGIM, SK Telecom T1, Terminator, Fnatic, Gambit, EG, all these guys were at that tournament, so.
Well, here we go, guys. Picks and bans for game number 1 between CJ Blaze and SK Telecom T1 T2 Judgment Day. Sona and Kog'Maw, the first bans, actually.
Yeah, Syndra ban as well. They're obviously concerned about that pick from Faker. He is a renowned Syndra player like Easy Hoon, Twisted Fate for Ambition. When Ambition gets Twisted Fate, bad things happen to you. Really bad things.
And your turrets.
And your turrets, yeah.
Sona ban against Lustboy, not a big shock there. I mean, he has definitely some of the best Sona play in the world. And the Kale ban against Ambition.
So and that Rumble gets through.
Ooh, wow, we're in sync today, aren't we?
We are, which is all over it. And Rumble is really one of the highest priority picks in Korea right now, by a long shot. So that makes, it's really not a surprise. Now the Jace pick, a little bit interesting. We'll have to see whether Faker gets it or Impact's going to take it top lane.
Kha'Zix immediately locked in. Probably going to be a mid lane Kha'Zix.
And there's the Lulu pick for Lustboy. I am excited. Awesome. I love Lustboy's Lulu. He typically draws Lulu bans.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, Lustboy playing Lulu is just one of my favorite things in all of League of Legends. So I'm already happy.
I hope it's actually a Fiddlesticks.
No way, man.
Yes, Crowstorm Cataclysm.
Oh no, it's the Crowstorm Cataclysm. It's back.
Oh god, no. I really want this to happen.
It really is Judgment Day.
Crowstorm Cataclysm is a comp that KT Rolster beat.
Oh,
yes!
Oh,
yes! No. Crowstorm Cataclysm is a comp that KT Rolster beat. Trolled with last season.
Yeah, but apparently it's a real comp now. I mean, in theory, yes, you could definitely put Crowstorm in Cataclysm, but it's a lot more than just doing that. I mean, ideally you have people from the other team in Cataclysm, and ideally Crowstorm actually makes it into Cataclysm and you don't get knocked out immediately or something. And Varus and Nasus
I love it. Okay,
out.
Here's what they're going to do.
Smart, man.
I love it. Okay,
yeah.
So we can see right now that they've got some pretty decent split pushing as well, but if SK Telecom T2 Judgment Day, if they group up, basically if you could get enough people in Cataclysm and hit them with Crowstorm and like Peacemaker and some spears and some shock blasts, like you just corral everyone and then just fire long range into them. Oh, I am so excited.
Dude, I don't know, man. All I can say is that this is Champions. Welcome, guys. Champion Spring, where Crowstorm Cataclysm is a legit strat.
It's support Fiddlesticks too, so this is going to be reminiscent of elements from Curse.
The last time we saw it was Jungle Fiddlesticks, I believe.
Yeah, Kakao played Jungle Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, and then it was a mid Jarvan. Nasus versus Jarvan in the jungle this time around. And down in mid lane, this is going to be the one to watch. Ambition versus Faker. Kha'Zix versus Nidalee. Mid Nidalee. And they didn't switch it, so it will indeed be mid Nidalee. Captain Jack versus Piglet. Varus versus Caitlyn. Pirate versus Small Farm Animal. That'll do, Pig. If he wins, that's what I'll say at the end. I've already planned it. Lustboy playing Lulu versus Mondu playing Fiddlesticks. And that's all really we need to say about that. Not going to mention this name. So, guys, game 1 is beginning to load. CJ Blade versus T2 Blaze. Well, I can't even speak today. Whatever, let's get in the game while I collect my thoughts. so intimidated by surprise party fiddlesticks that I just can't speak properly. Group A, set 1, CJ Blaze versus T2 Judgment Day.
I'm really sad that there's not an Amumu with surprise party fiddlesticks, because when that happens, that comp's name is It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want to.
Oh, that was perfect. That was beautiful, man. We'll save that one.
We will.
Yeah, we'll use
It'll
that.
happen someday. There's Helios on your screen right now.
You know, the last time we saw that, it really was some of the worst cataclysms and worst crow storms I've ever seen in League of Legends.
We couldn't stop laughing that game.
It was not the most serious.
It was also the Jarvan Riven bot lane that game.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true.
It was the last game of the group stages of Champions Winter when KT Rolls to be won with the Crow Storm.
They actually won with
combo.
it too. Yeah.
And Kakáo's jungling Fiddlesticks. He literally had the worst Crow Storms of all time.
Yep.
They only actually managed to land the Crow Storm Cataclysm combo one time.
That's actually why they replaced it with Insec in the offseason. They're like, we need someone who can hit his Crow Storms and get into Cataclysm. Sorry. Goodbye, Kakao.
See on KT Rolls.
Yep.
That's right. So, everyone just kind of taking up positions right now. No sort of crazy invades or anything like that. Mondu is going to help out with the Wolves.
Look at the wards right now starting from Judgment Day. They're really concerned about a jungle invade. They have wards at every entrance on the map. It's unusual to see that this early in the game.
Well, I mean, I suppose this is a competition that kind of relies on a smooth start. I mean, if your bot lane gets behind with a support like Fiddlesticks, I think that would be pretty difficult to keep up with a Varus, Lulu, Captain Jack, and Lustboy. So they just don't want to take any chance of something weird happening in the jungle, it seems like.
Yeah, and this may also be indicative that they've been scrimming a little bit, or they've heard about some very aggressive invade strats from CJ Blaze that we're not going to see this game.
Could be.
Also possible that there would be some early aggression in the jungle from Ambition if he's playing Kha'Zix. That could be another reason why they're doing this.
Yeah.
But it does seem just extremely safe. Judgment Day may also just have a little nerves in their first professional game.
Did they accidentally pick Fiddlesticks? Like, oh, whoops. Don't worry, we can put it in Cataclysm. It's okay.
I mean, Fiddlestick's support is very strong. In a lot of ways, he can force you to take Mercury Treads because he has a 3-second disable, which is one of the longest CC abilities in League of Legends.
Yeah.
The 3-second fear is really brutal, and he's very good for taking down towers for that reason, because once you start sieging the turret, you just fear one of their players, and then they can't actually trade with you at all while you're just autoing the turret with a long-range champion like Caitlyn.
You know, he's also making a big point of controlling the brush as well. We saw him put down that vision ward in the top rush and get rid of the ward from Lustboy as well, so they really, really want to just put a lot of pressure on this lane, give a lot of opportunities for Bengi to come in from behind.
And the reason for that is that they are trying to get this Bengi gank early. There was a ping there from the bot lane of SK T2 Judgment Day. They know that there's a ward in that forward rush. So Bengi actually flag toss over the side, and here we go.
Get them in. Where's the standard? Not getting it. There it is. There's the standard. They knock up Captain Jack. The exhaust is down. And oh, the first kill taken by the support Fiddlesticks. A really nice gank coming out of T2 Judgment Day.
And Ambition getting quite low too. Faker getting the best of some trades. And looks like there's the Flash Fear.
They're not done yet. Lustboy on the run, trying to use that W to get away. Mondu taking some damage, getting low, but Bengi's going to just sit there, hammer on him a bit, but it looks like they're going to leave Lustboy alone for now. We'll see. They could still dive this. The Peacemaker misses. Bengi has full health. It's a risky prospect, but they're not going to do it.
Ambition did a great job of moving into the jungle. That's why they backed off so quickly from that tower dive. Impact taking the worst of a trade up top. Flame.
Ooh, getting really low.
Getting him quite low.
Yeah, that Ignite was used before, actually during that, but didn't end up securing the kill with it.
Yeah, Ambition is going to have a bit of a hard time, I think, early against this Nidalee until he can get a few more points into his Void Spikes there. Upgraded at level 6 just a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what he decides to get first in terms of items, because that really tells you what a Kha'Zix player is planning on doing. You know, if he goes for that tier, it says he's looking to farm for a little bit. A little jump in there. He sees Faker has no mana, so less of a threat.
Yep. And Faker's got to be just concentrating like crazy right now. Going up against Ambition in the mid lane, not an easy prospect. Bengi throwing that Demacian standard. His name's going to be a tough one to say all season, isn't it?
It is. He should change his name to Tigger.
He should. He should.
We need more Pooh themes.
That's right. Winnie the Pooh. That's right. Not just regular Pooh. That's right.
Yes.
We don't need that theme.
No, we don't need them to change their name to EU Sports.
No, we don't. Well, the wonderful thing about that is that there's only one.
There is only one.
There can be only one.
So a very fast Philosopher's Stone for Mondu off his kill there already.
Yeah, it's going to give him a nice little gold lead. And that's going to make the Crow Storms even deadlier. And the Cataclysm even more scary. And Captain Jack and Lustboy, I mean, you don't often see them pushed around, but you know, if we look, the really cool thing to see is that Captain Jack is actually still ahead in CS, just barely, but even after dying like that, his mechanics are just so good that he can keep up, even under turret.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious to see how well Captain Jack would do in this lane because he's been typically a relatively weak lane.
Whoa, Ambition! What? Faker just executes Ambition in that mid lane.
I think there was actually probably a problem with Captain Jack's computer right there.
I wonder, man.
I have never seen Ambition die like that in lane.
There's
ever.
no pause. I mean, no pause. So you would have to assume that it's not a technical issue. He just didn't react for whatever reason. I mean, I know there could be situations sometimes where you hit recall and you just stop paying attention.
Actually,
but look at this. A big tower dive. They're going to come down this bottom lane. Captain Jack the first target. And Lustboy's not going to escape either, I don't think. He's going to flash. Maybe we'll get away. No, there's a spear. A double kill for Faker. What a statement by this solo queue hero. Man.
So actually what I think happened right there was that Ambition hit 6 and he was in the middle of his...
Mondu's a bit brave, but Faker claims another one.
So Faker at 7.5 minutes is 4-0-0 on Nidalee. He's going to go back, probably just straight up buys a huge AP item, and then you start raining tiers. There's your tier, your boots, and your meaningfully large rod in 7.5 minutes.
Wow. Well,
so what I think happened right there was that Ambition was actually evolving his void spikes, and he was standing there for the split second that it takes for those shoulder spikes to pop out.
I think you're right.
And then Faker took advantage of that time, and then he was waiting for it, and just jumped in and killed him. What great presence of mind from Faker right there.
Man, this guy's impressive. I mean, like we mentioned, a lot of fans here in Korea are saying that T2 Judgment Day is going to be like the new team to watch. They're thinking of them as kind of the KT Roaster B of this season, where they're just going to come out and start dominating everyone. And so far early on, I mean, it's 5-0, 2K gold lead in favor of SK Telecom T2 Judgment Day.
And you'll notice that they're very much preying on this bottom lane. And the reason why is because Captain Jack and Lustboy are notoriously weak in a long laning phase.
Yeah, they need to shut him down.
Captain Jack has great positioning in team fights. He's typically good at decision making, but his laning is just not so hot. And he's out farming Piglet, but what really matters is those 3 assists and the fact that Faker's getting massively fed. Now with Faker, he's crow storming.
Oh, here we go. There it is. He's coming into Captain Jack exhausted. He's going to flash, but will he escape? He's so low. They're both so low. Ace in the hole finishes him off. And Piglet claims that kill. Faker's like, oh, man, I wanted another killing blow.
Yeah,
I
now
couldn't come down from mid.
Bengi just coming down here to push this turret instantly.
Yeah.
Now they're actually just going to recall.
Apparently.
And they're pinging Dragon right now. They do have Vision Ward down, so they can easily take it. There's the minions taking that down. So if Piglet not going to recall.
This has just been so one-sided early on in the game. I mean, dare I say we might be expecting here another upset? This has just been the season of upsets so far.
It's certainly looking like it. And here comes Helios up into this top lane. He's knocking Flame back into the turret.
So Flame, he's going to be able to dodge that turret aggro, stay alive with very low health, and that's going to be the first kill for CJ.
Yeah, the problem here with Blaze's team comp is that, nearly.
Lustboy trapped in the Cataclysm. Lulu in trouble now. He just can't escape, and there it is. Nice Peacemaker at the end from Piglet to claim that kill.
Yeah, they did get the top turret for it, but Dragon also goes to Judgment Day, so they're up 7-1, 3,000 gold already.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Wow.
And the two stars that we were hearing so much about before this season, Faker and Piglet, are way up.
Yeah, they're doing really, really well so far. They're going to be able to possibly push down this mid turret when the next creep wave gets there.
Oracle already, 10-minute Oracle. Wow, we haven't seen this really since Season 2.
Yeah.
He also has the Elixir of Fortitude as well. He's just going straight for these early pushes to try and get... They're trying to snowball the game as hard as they can. There's Ambition getting feared, and then...
Flame takes ace in the hole. Manages to save Ambition there, but they still lose that turret.
I mean, you can't really do much against Faker right now. The siege of this composition is so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, the spears, the shock blast,
Dude, if
the
two of those
Caitlyn shots. My God, are they going to do a lot
Oh,
of damage to you.
Flame nearly dying just from that spear. And that's going to probably mean another turret for them.
There's no
Lust Boy taking a big shock blast. This is going to be one of the quickest games I think we've seen all week.
There's no way that really CJ Blaze can stop this. Nidalee has too many items now. She's going to be doing too much damage. She's spamming everything. The one grace is that this Nidalee Faker does not have blue buff. So
Yeah,
they are
that's
going to have
true.
to stop. But if they can secure another blue buff, it's going to be really ugly.
Ooh. Wow. I'm just blown away by this. I mean,
Well, what's interesting is that, yeah, Faker made some impressive plays early, but ultimately those were solo queue plays. You know, he got a good kill in lane. He knew the matchup very well, taking advantage of that split second during the evolution animation. And
Right.
then he roamed bot and got that double kill, which was very impressive.
yep. We might have a fight here. Ambition coming down, trying to just poke with those void spikes. Yeah, might not be the best time. Another big spear, taking about a third of Flame's health away. Nice silence coming in from Mondu. And the shock blast just kind of spreading the team out a little bit. That turret's under no danger at all.
So, but the question remains as to whether Faker and the rest of Judgment Day can actually fight a coordinated 5v5 in the late game. But there's not going to be a late game probably unless CJ Blaze has an epic defense right here and gets some quality picks.
I mean, Blaze is definitely one of the top teams in the world. So if any team can make some sort of a comeback in a situation like this, it's going to be a team like Blaze, but it is going to be pretty insane. It's going to be kind of a miracle if they're able to come back from this one.
Well, it just seems to me that Judgment Day they've researched their opponents very well.
Yeah,
they
I think
knew
so.
exactly what their game plan was coming into this.
Yeah.
And then they just executed so well. So a good team.
You were so impressive up until that point, Faker.
So, yeah, they need to keep on the pressure, and an experienced team will know how to just continue to snowball this advantage. They are 4K up at 13 minutes, which is a massive amount.
Yep. And, Bengi thinking about coming down. He does toss the standard, and it allows him to see Flame coming up the lane, too. So, nice presence of mind not to just dive that, not to get too aggressive. I mean, that's the thing you might need to worry about a little bit with a less experienced team like T2 Judgment Day, is that they've got this lead and they might get a little bit over-eager. There's the equalizer coming down on Mondu. Can they get the kill? He's going to flash away. Bengi getting taken out there. He gets in the middle of everything. So not the best engagement there for Judgment Day, and you just can't do that against Flame, and the rest of CJ Blaze are going to take advantage of those situations every time.
Yeah, and actually, Faker looked like he didn't quite know the timer on the blue buff. He spent a lot of time just kind of running in circles around the blue pit, like the last 30 seconds before it spawned. So, yeah, these are the kind of mistakes that you would expect a team with T2 Judgment Day's experience to be making at this point in time, but Faker was just literally like doing nothing for the last, right before that fight. So
I mean, this is kind of common for newer teams at this level. It's that they've got a lot of individual skill, but then what you need to do is take that individual skill and coordinate it, turn it into team skill, and the teams that can do that, obviously those produce not just Swords, those produce CJ Blazes, but can T2 Judgment Day do that yet?
Well, we're about to find out. Now they have the blue buff, though, so they need to take advantage of this opportunity and just continue to push. And unfortunately for CJ Blaze, they didn't control the blue buff of SK Telecom T2 that well, and that's going to be really critical. It's always critical in a game where you're against a Nidalee.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Ambition does have his Brutalizer. He's going to be doing a decent amount of damage with those Void Spikes from outside, so he's going to be able to kind of, maybe chunk down a few members of Judgment Day as they kind of siege up this turret. We'll see, though, because, I mean, the poke potential is a lot higher for SKT. They're going to go for this turret.
Yeah, they are, and they just have just a ridiculous amount of poke, like you said. And now Flame is going to go after pushing that lane, and
yeah. Oh, wow. Wow, he just actually insta-gibbed Lustboy. We didn't even really catch that, but I would imagine it was a spear shot glass combo. And there's Ace in the hole. Ambition getting forced off that turret.
My God.
Whoa! The spears, man.
Well, that's what happens if you almost have a death cap in 15 minutes.
He's in the Cataclysm. Flash out of it. Double flashes there. Equalizer getting a nice hit on everybody, but it doesn't matter. I mean, SKT just way too far ahead right now. Yeah, they did not get the inhibitor.
No, they didn't, but they don't have to because they just keep getting more of an advantage. They're now up an additional 1,000 gold for a total of 5, and they're heading back to Dragon.
Yep. Pretty easy Dragon here for them. And they're just going to kind of retain all that map control, too. Ambition coming in. And
here comes
him. Oh, man. He's going to jump back in, though, after the wild growth. He needs to get out of there, though. Oh, Faker hits another beautiful spear. And the surprise party.
It's very lonely.
It was. It was like a party that nobody else came to. Armandu. Meanwhile, Piglet clearing out this tower.
Nobody wants to come to surprise Fiddlesticks parties.
Really,
he throws the worst parties. They hurt so badly.
Yeah. The surprise is that it's not actually fun. It's actually just lethal.
You should really just invite some masochists over.
I guess so. I guess so. Or maybe the nihilists from the Big Lebowski. They believe in nothing, so maybe they can handle a little bit better. I don't know.
Well, here we go. Back in this game, another Dragon, another day, another 1,000 gold lead for T2 Judgment Day.
It is, man.
And I guess we're going to make up for our late start time with an extremely fast game.
I guess so. Judgment Day just stomping at all the charred skulls of CJ Blaze right now.
And Faker looking to make a play. They do see him with that ward
Yep.
at the entrance, so he's going to roll around the outside, get a ward of his own down so they can push this lane a little bit more effectively, just leap through that wall there. And they're finally going to take down the last outer turret.
Oh, Equalizer.
They're dead. I mean, this is a desperation move.
Yeah.
The problem
And
is
here they
Ambition's in that bot lane, and they know it, so there's not really anything that they can do about it. CJ Blaze, that is.
Yeah, I mean, and they don't even need to get this inhibitor, too. If they just push down these next two turrets, they just have even more minion pressure on them. A lot of poking going on.
Yeah, Death Cap complete now, too. Faker is just going to... Oh, my God.
This game has more poke than the entire Facebook website. Oh, nice shot blast to follow up that spear. Barely doesn't catch. Oh, jeez. That minion, minion deserves a medal, man.
I almost wonder if Lustboy can be one-shotted right now.
It's going to be really close. I think so. Taking some hits, but he doesn't care. Ace in the hole, just trying to do some damage to people. And they're going to run in on this. There's the Cataclysm. Immediately, the carry dies. Captain Jack taking out a double kill, actually, for Impact. And it seems like Judgment Day can just pretty much show up whenever they want to and just kill members of Blaze at will at this point.
Yes, they're currently judging Blaze, and they are finding them wanting.
This is the day of judgment. Whoa, Lustboy dodging those spears, but be very careful about that.
And look how smart! Look how smart this play is from T2 Judgment Day. They're playing this very safely.
Yeah.
They're not getting greedy for these inhibitors. They're waiting until they have the upper hand.
Ambition having to jump away so low already. Impact chasing him down. The Peacemaker misses, and Ambition still on the run for it. The rest of the team trying to get away. A decent equalizer. Impact is very low. They might be able to get a kill out of this one. They do! Oh, the revenge from Lustboy. Pick up the Glitterlands kill. I love it. In the meantime, Bengi popping over the wall there, trying to get away. They're on the run now, but even if they win this team fight, it's going to be too little too late. I mean, we're only 19 minutes in. Even if they somehow, like, ace T1, oh, wow, you can almost one-shot Lustboy. Even if they were to, supposedly ace SKT right now, they'd be back up so fast because we're still so early in the game.
My mind is being blown, Noah. Like, I don't even know what to say about this. CJ Blaze just won the IM World Championship, and here we are, their first game in Champions Spring, and they are getting just mauled
Yeah.
by SK Telecom T2 Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And how can a team that just came into Champions do this to one of the most established, most successful teams in the world?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it just shows what a huge amount of talent there is here.
Yeah, look, they're showing right now that 20% cooldown reduction as well.
It's a lot of spears.
It's a lot of spears.
Yep. It's more spears than a guy with a lot of spears can have.
Than a dill pickle jar.
What?
Pickle spears, man.
Pickle spears?
Have you heard that phrase before?
No.
Oh, man.
Who calls pickles spears? They're not.
No, they're the long pickles, like deli pickles, are called spears. Spear pickles.
Really?
Yep. Absolutely, man. Back me up, Twitter.
That doesn't make any sense.
Tell GG Della what pickles are called.
Something wrong with the human race, because that makes no sense, Monte Cristo. They don't resemble spears in the slightest. Like a banana is more spear-like than that, but I don't know. I don't think CJ is a huge fan of any kind of spear right now, because they are just getting murdered by them. There goes another one. Oh, man. A huge hit on Nasus.
The crowd is just loving this.
They are, indeed. I'm loving it, too, but whoa, that was close. That was good jump in. There's a cataclysm. Captain Jack flashes out, but they're going to get that turret anyway. And another party that no one was invited to, apparently. And Flame gets another nice equalizer, but Ambition jumping in a bit too early, and Impact going to pick up that kill. Flame coming in. He does manage to take out Piglet finally. The exhaust on Flame. Trying to hold him back here.
But there's no way they can chase this composition with acceleration gate and all of the poke coming out of it.
Yeah.
And so in the meantime, their Nexus turrets are dying while they try and deal with this problem, and there are like a million spears still chasing them.
Yep.
So they're just going to continue to be zoned out on their turret.
Yeah. And they're just going to go after this final inhibitor turret here. And I mean, it's just going to be too much for CJ to handle very, very soon. I mean, the pressure on all their internal turrets on their base is just way too high right now.
And they're going to go for another dragon. I love this. You know, they're playing so
safe.
well. They're not doing dumb things.
They're not doing
overreaching
mistakes.
No, they're not at all.
That's the most surprising thing, I think, is that they're not getting overly aggressive. You know, they're not messing up like you see new teams do a lot of times in the middle lane.
Yeah, the only time they got greedy was when they double flashed to try and kill Ambition by the middle inhibitor.
Yes.
And that did result in them not getting out of the base fast enough, and then losing Jarvan right there, losing Bengi. But other than that one little mistake that really didn't cost them very much, they have looked so sharp.
Yeah, look at Faker right now. He's 5-0-6. Pretty good score if you're going up against Ambition. It's pretty amazing, actually. I mean, everyone says, oh, yeah, they're going to be a big threat and all that, but I didn't really believe it, per se. I'm like, well, it might be close, but I think Blaze is going to take this. But after this game, who knows, man? I mean, that's the thing. Any given Saturday, I guess, right?
That's right. I mean, that's the thing about Champions is there's always surprises. There were so many surprises in Winter. I mean, who would have thought that KT Rolster B in Winter would come into the tournament and leave the group stage with by far the best record?
Yeah, they just came out of nowhere. I think they lost, what, like 2 games?
One game.
Stage? One game,
They lost 1 game to Frost.
Yeah. That is a great equalizer, actually. Flames been on top of those, totally. Impact taken out very quickly. The Cataclysm holds up Flame. Can they make something out of it, though? Bengi getting caught here, too. And are these the mistakes that we were wondering about? Because Captain Jack just picking up that double kill. I mean, over and over now, Flame has been able to get SKT in a position to get these great equalizers. It's been setting up a decent amount of picks.
Yeah, and you have to give Blaze some props because Ambition's actually been doing a great job of farming and keeping relevant in this game.
Yeah.
And they, for a while now, Judgment Day really hasn't been able to extend their lead beyond 6K. So, and if there's any team that is capable of turtling forever, in Korea, that is, of course EG can do it, but turtling forever and winning wild games. I mean, CJ Blaze won a game last season against Frost with 3 inhibitors down, and Captain Jack just played amazingly and managed to pretty much solo win the game.
Became like Super Jack or something. But I mean, it would really be a tragedy though for T2 Judgment Day to lose this game. I mean, after how they played in the early game, they just need to close it out. But I mean, realistically, this is another issue that a lot of new teams have. You know, I mean, there's certain things that are characteristics of new teams. And one of those is getting over-eager, getting over-aggressive, and making mistakes. Another one is not being able to close it out. And I feel like we're kind of seeing that a bit right now from them.
Yeah, and there are some issues too with the itemization for Blaze, like the lack of an Aegis against this incredibly fed Nidalee. I mean, you're just gonna eat spears forever. That's like that. Yeah, it's real. I mean, the Locket is fine, but the Locket is a one-off. If you need to defend a siege, you really need that extra magic resist. And they've been getting it with these Merc Treads, and actually the Merc Treads are great not only for the MR, but also because they're doing double duty, especially on Ambition, because they reduce the fear from Fiddlesticks, which is, like I said, that just immense CC. And that's why also Captain Jack has that QSS now, is because he's trying to deal with his Fiddlesticks, which is just, Fiddlesticks is a massive problem. As a support, or as any champ, as any role, really.
I love Mandu, but the Crow Storms have not exactly been stellar this game.
Oh, he's had a couple of good ones.
They've been better than the last time we saw this, certainly, but there's been a couple sparsely populated parties. That's
true. There have been, but fortunately they're not relying on him to do damage, so there is a saving grace there.
That is true.
They can do Baron really fast with Drain, too.
That's what I was wondering, if they're just going to go ahead and go for it, but it doesn't look like they will just yet. They want to be careful, and I mean, we can see some hesitancy, too, in the willingness to fight CJ Blaze, and you really can't blame them. I mean, both the CJ teams are really, really good team-fighting teams, and you really need to make sure that your engagements are just perfect when you're going up against this type of team.
Yeah, and also, Judgment Day is effectively a poke composition, and if they catch you during Baron and they can get into your soft poke underbelly,
that's right.
That's what they're trying to do right now, by the way. You can see that's why Ambition's up there, is because he knows if he can get into the poke line, they can win a fight, even when they're 5,000 gold down, and they're closing that gap. I mean, you've got to hand it to Blaze right now. They're on the ropes, but their hitters back up, and they're closing the gold gap. They might still be able to win.
Yeah, things have definitely stalled out right now for SK Telecom T1, T2 Judgment Day. Maybe we need a shorter name than Judgment Day. I like Judgment Day.
No, Judgment Day is good.
We can stick with it. Right. Judgment Day. It's getting closer. Closer to trying to push down another inhibitor. Try to get that super minion advantage yet again.
Yeah, they're just continuing to poke, applying this pressure, but CJ is doing a great job of wave clearing it. They do have some good tools for that, especially Void Spikes and Hail Arrows there as well. So they're having a hard time pushing.
Here we go. Coming in to get the knockup on Nasus. A nice equalizer yet again. And Crowstorm, they're going to chase him away here. A lot of members of SKT very low, very quickly against this CJ Blaze team.
And they're continuing to push, but they don't have a way. And look at how well Blaze has created these minion waves in both top and bottom. So they're actually going to have to disperse and go back and farm this out. So huge props to Blaze for creating these massive minion waves that that Judgment Day has to go deal with.
Turning into a pretty amazing comeback by Blaze.
It really is.
Which, I think they...
Oh my god, they're going to Baron. There's no vision.
Oh, they might. They started it, but decided to pull off. That might not have been a bad time to do it, honestly.
Yeah, they don't have very many ults up, though.
Yeah. It would have been risky, but I mean... I guess, though, after the fights they've been having, the little skirmishes where they've been able to push back Judgment Day very quickly, they can be like, all right, we don't need to take this Baron risk. We know that as long as we keep track of it, we can win a fight there if they're doing it. And we can win fights without it, too. So, better to leave Baron alone right now. I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, you can also see that the Bloodthirster are definitely core on Kha'Zix and Varus, and that's really helping them out, too, in terms of the sustain during these poke fights as they clear these minion waves out.
Yep.
I mean, Blaze is doing this as well as they can, really.
Yeah.
And it's very impressive to see them fight. They've really dug themselves in and are ready to play a very long game in order to get out of this.
Yeah, going from probably what was going to be one of the shortest games of the season so far to what could be much, much longer. We'll see, though. I mean, it all really comes down to the poke. I mean, if they can catch a couple people like they were before, they could still, give somebody and win a team fight.
And, yeah, it's so true because they really don't have very much tankiness. Bengi, if we look at the itemization for Judgment Day right now, they have the double Shirelia's Reverie, so they're very focused, and acceleration gate as well. That's 3 tools to move very quickly, but that's to get away.
Yeah.
So if Blaze can engage them, they will probably all die, even with this gold difference. But it's going to be really hard to actually catch them.
Yeah. And looks like everybody's going to the bottom lane now. T2 Judgment Day, they want to take out that inhibitor if they can.
You'll also notice that Lustboy is getting a Shirelia's as well. This may turn into like both teams have 2 to 3 Shirelia's each, because they actually do need that in order to catch Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on here. And when we do see these extended poke games, that's how they often end up, is with massive Shirelia's.
Another pretty good equalizer. It's not as good as some of the other ones, and SKT will be able to back off of that pretty quickly, but
I mean, even with the Rylai's equalizer, they just can't do anything.
Yeah.
That's shocking because it's so easy to catch people with that ability. But they do have the Kha'Zix of the Void Spikes too.
Yep.
And you can see Ambition constantly moving
big hit on
backwards.
Captain Jack. He gets the ult off. It does get cleansed by Piglet.
This is so tense still.
Yeah, it is. It really is on a knife's edge right now. I mean, one little mistake right now by either one of these teams,
and you can see that
a team fight.
Yeah, Ambition is just running back and forth to get that unseen threat.
Yep.
There's Hail of Arrows. You know, CJ Blaze does have a lot of zone slow, which is AoE slow, which is great for them.
Their inhibitor is very low right now, but it looks like SKT Judgment Day is going to back off. Just kind of control the jungle a little bit more, and slowly can try to sort of constrict their opponents to death. But, you know, like you mentioned, I mean, as time goes on, CJ is only going to get stronger. And we're at a point where SK Telecom T2 Judgment Day is going to kind of start to plateau off if they haven't already.
Yeah, they can't get the inhibitors down anymore because of the wave clear and the counter poke coming out of Blaze.
Yeah.
So they continue to have this trouble.
And Blaze wants to fight. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they wanted to just find a good engagement and just go for it. We'll see, though.
I mean, Faker's still just doing enormous damage, but the longer that they can wait this out, the more items that Blaze can get. If they can finally reach that runic bulwark, they're going to be looking a lot better.
Yep. Very true. And they've done a better job at dodging those spears, too, now. Not getting hit by quite as many at this point. And, I mean, SKT, they're forced to just kind of play passive again.
Yeah, there's not a lot they can do right now. Void Staff complete as well as Seraph's Embrace on Faker. He's had the Void Staff for a while. He has picked up the Seraph's Embrace.
Right.
Just right now he had stacked up his tier fully.
Huh.
So with the home guard boots as well, they're really looking forward to going back as often as possible.
Oh, they caught Lustboy. Lustboy flashes out. Ace in the hole does some decent damage, but he will get away. The flash is down now, though, but they did manage to pull out a Cataclysm, too. So, well, Captain Jack takes some damage. And, I mean, this is a situation, where they may want to just decide to try a Baron.
They really...
It's going to be...
I really don't think they want to do Baron.
It's going to be dangerous, yeah. But if they could reduce the health of enough of the members of CJ, they could feel confident about forcing a fight there possibly. But
yeah, that's definitely what they're trying to do now, is just try and get enough poke down that they can force it back. However, you know, a lot of the members of CJ Blaze could just go back and buy home guard boots at that point.
That spear, man.
It's so scary.
He was about to be a pinned bug in a bug collection. And here they come. They're going to try to just force CJ out of the lane, it looks like. But they just can't. I mean, CJ has such a good amount of poke themselves that it's going to be tough. Here comes Flame. Is he going to be able to get another good equalizer?
I really don't think they want to do this.
It's a bit risky. But they've got to notice that some of the members of SKT aren't there.
This is very smart by Judgment Day, but here we go. Blaze has figured it out.
Oh, Helios getting so low. They can just kill people so quickly, man. I mean, Jason Italy.
Yeah, they can't do it with just 3 of them. They don't have a very strong Baron. Obviously, Captain Jack.
Ooh, that was a close call. Oh, man. That would have been it. Captain Jack has to flash, and then Shock Flash takes it out. This is the opportunity they were looking for. They get it on Ambition. Ace in the hole, helps finish that off, and it's a double kill for Impact. Jace picking up that one, and now they can start to push these objectives.
And there we go. They're focusing down on this inhibitor right now. Captain Jack hit a trap is what happened right there.
Yeah,
Came a trap. It was very well placed. So they didn't have the damage to get that Baron, but it doesn't look like they're going to need it. They're going to get the inhibitors they needed off of this one.
There's the Cataclysm. They do trap Studio, so they will be able to get the kills out of it. They're doing down from the outside. There's a wild growth on their jungler trying to keep him alive, but it doesn't work. Actually, Rumble taken out there. And it's going to be 2 more kills for SKT. They're going to go after these Nexus turrets. It looks like the game is over. So despite some, a little bit of a tense moment for SKT, they're going to come in and win the resounding game 1 against CJ Blaze. What an impressive start for these guys.
Absolutely. We got to hand it for CJ Blaze. I actually thought they were going to win that game for a while.
They made you wonder, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. And that's the hallmark of a top-level team, is being able to take that massive early deficit and just play their comp masterfully, know what they needed to do to succeed, but ultimately they couldn't overcome that just huge early loss in gold.
Well, that's got to be a little bit scary, actually, though, for T2 Judgment Day, because they're thinking to themselves, we were that far ahead, and it was still that close at the end. If we have any sort of an even game, they're going to beat us. So T2 Judgment Day,